Welcome back to the show. The season has come to an end. Myself and Timmy sat down and looked at Arsenal's season yesterday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Today we're looking at another club that had a pretty big season because it's not only Arsenal that got something back, which is the Premier League trophy. It's Manchester United got European football back because they qualified for the Champions League. It was a massive season for them. And the show also has something back. And that something is Ethan. Ethan, back on the show, bro. Welcome back. I say this like I didn't see you every day.
I live with you now, if you only realize now. It's been a while. And also, I got to address the elephant in the room. The last video I was here for was the Amorim era.
Yeah.
Which, looking back a year later, didn't go well.
Dude, it affected this up until this season. It was still in effect until Jan, until 2026.
Yeah, but look, luckily it's in the past. It's behind us. We don't need to look back.
It's crazy. Look, you're smiling now, bro. It's a lot less stressful.
Yeah,
it's a lot less stressful now. United have been active in the transfer window. You know, we're gonna get into all that towards the end of the video, and we're also gonna end off things with signing of the season, player of the season, goal of the season, all that jazz. But yeah, you came a long way.
We came from nothing.
You came from Amorim, which may have honestly been worse than nothing, bro. Relegation fights, Europa League final loss against Spurs.
Yeah.
And then, look, like I said, it rolled on kind of into the season. But the transfer window you're happy with?
What do you mean, last window or this one?
The kick started off this season. When we signed Mbumo, you signed Cunha.
Yeah, I think everyone was happy with that.
It was a good window.
When you go ahead and sign like the best players from like mid-table teams, that's always a good sign, not going to lie.
And they were stars of those teams.
Yeah, they were the best players for sure. Yeah.
If you were gonna buy anyone from those teams, it's them. And I'd like to
do the same with Bowen this season.
Ooh, I think he's definitely gonna find a Premier League team.
Yeah, he's so good.
But yeah, look, it worked out. The signings worked out. I think obviously once we get closer to Jan, we start talking about Lamens. But in the beginning, those were the focal points. And Šeško, of course.
Yeah.
In the striker merry-go-round, Man United got Šeško, Arsenal got Gyökeres.
Arsenal was supposed to get Šeško, and this was supposed to go there. And
it was a crazy time. But was Šeško the one you wanted? It was a big debate.
No, he wasn't.
Who did you want?
I wanted Gyökeres. Yeah, I think Gyökeres is older in it.
Yeah, and it made sense because he worked with Amorim, so he was tried and tested.
Yeah, exactly. I did want Gyökeres. I did like that he was older. I don't really like this whole get a young players. Yeah, especially when there's no one to like bowl with him. You know, if there was someone else, like if we did have like a Rooney or something at the time, but we didn't. True. So there's just this fucking like 20-year-old Šeško like pulling his teeth, doing nothing.
And you had said before the issue at United was no matter who the striker is, they're not getting the service they need.
Yeah.
That very much changed this season with the form of Bruno Fernandes.
When you go from Garnacho and Diallo to Cunha and Mbumo, it is kind of a big difference.
It's a whole new world. Yeah. But it started off much like Amorim's whole career, up and down. Started off with a loss against United. Obviously,
a loss against
Arsenal, at Old Trafford. That got controversial, but I had said in yesterday's episode, United were by far the better team. So a lot of people took it as a sign of things to come.
Didn't we beat Arsenal later in the season?
Yeah, you beat us at the Emirates.
So we beat them at
But first game, this was one of those games where it was like very much, yes, Arsenal got the win, but United looked like something had changed there, bro. Like these new signings definitely looked like they were clicking. But it wasn't all obviously roses because there was still a draw later on with Fulham, but you did get a win.
Yeah, and classic United. We struggle against United. Does the thing even like no matter like the manager for the last 10 years, we play to like their level. Yeah. So if it's Arsenal, we'll play well. If it's
that's true. You show up for the occasion.
Yeah.
Because your win also in this was against Burnley and it was 3-2. It was nervy.
Yeah.
But it was a win you needed. And also look, none of your new signings got the 007 this season. Mbumo got a debut goal in this run. But in this month, the big talking point is Kobe Mainoo wanting out, bro. So a real sign of where we've come from.
Yeah, look, shit happens. You know what I mean?
I couldn't understand how he wasn't starting.
But again, managers don't like players. Players don't like managers. Yeah. Sometimes shit happens. So like, it's just one of those things where, Kobe Mainoo under Amorim didn't work.
It was a bad time,
But I could argue that Amorim was getting more out of Cunha and Mbumo than Carrick is now. So like I said, what I mean? Like it just happens. Players play differently under coaches. They play better under certain ones.
That is fair. It's a good thing.
And at least he didn't leave.
Yeah, it's a good thing that it did work out because there were talk of loan moves and all that jazz. But look, he stayed. Amorim stayed. And Amorim did get a big win not long after because he ended up beating Chelsea 2-1. He did lose to Man City and losing to Manchester Derby is bad.
But again, we beat them later on.
Yeah. You look bad at this time.
And so then let's cut the bro. Let's get to the point. Amorim ends up getting fired after what I think it is because I think it is after we got knocked out of the.
He got fired in Jan.
Yeah, I think it was after some which tournament was it?
He got sacked after
There was a tournament game we lost and he got fired. Not because we lost, but because he called out.
And also because of the inconsistent form.
Yes, but
they were getting very inconsistent.
That wasn't
afterwards, after a Leeds draw that he had gotten sacked.
Okay, yeah, but look,
right after the Leeds game.
Here's the thing.
The FA Cup third round exit.
The FA Cup, the FA Cup, and that because obviously we didn't have Europe. So we were kind of depending on these cups, and we weren't doing well in the league either. Yeah. So people were thinking, but if he can do well in the cups, maybe we keep him. As soon as he's out of these cups,
and those cups, because obviously Grimsby, which we didn't touch on, but Grimsby was big.
The less on that. But you see, because if everything was right and he actually got fired because of results, he would have been fired off of the Grimsby game.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
There's no.
A few people were surprised, but it made sense. That would have been rash at that point. It was 4 or 5 games into the season.
You lost to Grimsby.
No, I know.
That's
I 100% agree. I would have understood. I'm just saying, from a perspective of the stance Man United had taken, they were very much open about me sticking with Amorim. So for them to have made that decision, then they would have had egg on their face. And I think that they should have
ended up with egg on their face, though.
Definitely. But I'm saying they should have sacked him. But at that point, I can understand them standing on business and going, you know what? We've already committed to this match. Because the way he was moving in interviews also, he was very open about how he was calm, he was stressed, but he spoke very openly.
Yes, he did, but
he spoke like someone that had nothing to worry about.
And that's what, in my opinion, inevitably got him fired. Because, like I said, if it was a results-based thing,
he'd have gone a long time ago.
He'd be gone a long time ago.
For sure.
And then I think it was around that time where, after we lost, he then called out the players and was like,
yes, he said things need to change, and he said these players need to be better.
Exactly. He did a big spiel, and basically the whole point of the spiel was, I need new players, I need money.
Yeah.
The board obviously don't want to give him either of those things
because he hadn't proved why.
So they fired him.
Yeah.
So at the end, it wasn't even a result thing. He just said he called him out.
He got far too casual in front of camera, bro.
Look, he called him out, and again, rightfully so. You should have called him out.
No, 100%.
He did need the players. We were losing to Grimsby.
100%. And look, this is also why the season was a season of 2 halves, bro. Because the Amorim era was crazy.
Yeah.
Worst start to a Premier League season in 33
that's the end of the
years.
Amorim era. Eh? That was
that's the end of the era. But I will say that a United legend, Nani, did predict in September that Man United would return to being one of the best teams in the Premier League this season. And in September, I thought a lot of people would have thought he'd be crazy.
What does Nani know that we don't?
That's what I'm saying, because a lot of people, I think, would have been like, bro, nah. But I think, look, maybe he saw Carrick coming.
Yeah, well, even Carrick probably okay.
Maybe he saw it coming. But yeah, he ended up being right. But the start of Carrick was hectic. He started with some big wins. Yeah, no,
because again...
Started with some big wins, came in crunch time, and came in very much as an interim coach. That was the idea.
And again, also, it's again going off. You're not gonna, if this was part of the plan, whatever, yada yada. You're not gonna fucking bring a new coach in when you have to play Arsenal and Man City as your next games.
Yep,
that's terrible.
Yep.
So which also then leads to I don't think this was like the results were getting bad. We had to fire.
It was the press conference.
It was a spur of the moment. He said bad shit. We got to fire him now.
Yeah.
So Carrick was really thrown into the fucking deep end, bro. But he did well. He did well.
And this is something that he's done, because even in his first stint as interim manager, he already had a good run. Also, to be fair,
at this point, we've already gotten rid of Onana though in it.
Yes, Lemens was in. Lemens was in. To be fair, when Lemens came in, Bayanda was still seen as the number 1, so Lemens could adapt, but Lemens had to adapt quickly.
Well, to be fair, when fucking Bayanda's number 1, it's like, I'm already halfway in.
That's why I say he had to adapt, bro. But once he came in, it was a good decision. He was man of the match in his first game for the club in his debut.
And that is probably the biggest difference between Amorim and Carrick. I honestly think if Amorim had a decent goalkeeper, and this goes back to Ten Hag, because obviously Ten Hag was the one who fired the Gia, brought in Onana. If Amorim had a better keeper, I think this is a very different story, bro. Very different story.
I will say there were 1 or 2 months where Amorim did end up getting 4 wins in the month. You know, it's not the inconsistent results were crazy.
Let's be honest. Amorim's a good coach. What he did with Sporting, didn't he fucking go?
He ended a drought there. Yeah, I think he won back-to-backs with them. He set records for the club. No, he's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
It's just I think Ten Hag kind of set him up to fail.
Yeah.
And I also kind of think that
he backed himself. He thought he had way too much clout at that club, bro. The way he was moving,
he talked shit about the owners.
He thought he was like he was untouchable, bro.
Because the sad thing is also you can't it's I'm kind of on like, as much as I don't like the Glazers and shit, I'm kind of on their side too, because they did give him a decent window. He did buy Onana.
No,
I mean, he did buy like Cunha and all this shit.
You spend.
So they gave him money and shit. Yeah, it's not like they fucking tied his hands behind his back while they did it. But
look, he lost the dressing room also. I think he definitely lost the dressing room.
He definitely lost Manu, and Manu's kind of a big part of that team.
I think he lost it, and at that point, it doesn't matter what your tactics are, bro. Like these players, because again with Carrick, that was so much more than new manager bounce. I think you could tell very quickly.
Yes,
I think he basically fixed. He went back to basics on the pitch.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to do these crazy new era, new age type football tactics because he doesn't have the players for it, and it worked.
No, it did work. We saw in the second half players like Maguire thrive, even though they weren't.
Still think he should be at the World Cup.
Should he though?
I think you. But this is for me. I think it's more on meta because he played more than Stones even did this season.
Yes,
Stones has been injured this season.
He did, but he very much is a system player though. Is kind of the issue.
That's true because Southgate's system obviously was particular. It was quite particular.
So I like again as much as I like Maguire, obviously he plays for United. I love Maguire.
I just think on merit. I would have rather had him than Dan Burn. I can't lie. But clearly Tuchel's system is Dan Burn's probably going to play some role in it.
Yeah, it's clearly.
But Maguire could be. I think he's important in that England dressing room.
He has done well for them in the past, but again, that was under Southgate.
Yeah.
So you can't blame a new manager coming in and changing
I
shit
appreciate
up.
him putting because that's a big decision. He made some big decisions. We're going to speak about the World Cup more going forward.
He made a lot of big decisions.
But Maguire, he shone under Michael Carrick, and Man United in general did.
Maguire but that also again is because we went back to basics a little bit more. When you can sit deep, it's no better than.
But
Maguire.
The thing is, you made the basics look good, which was nice. I think that's where you really started to see Cunha and Mbumo start to shine.
Yes, and again, that's because we just went full counter attack.
Yeah,
again. So
and Shesko as well.
Went back to shout out. Yeah, again, like front three, and like I saw some stat a while ago, like first front three in a while to like 10 plus goals and assists. Where like because they were all three new signings, and they all three got 10 plus.
Yeah.
So I think this is like the first time ever, or like in a long time that three signings have all achieved that. So like we do have to shout out Sesko in it as well.
No, and he came in.
He did start off very sketchy.
He did. It took a few games before he got.
It took a lot of games,
and even the first goal was kind of like you got. It wasn't like a banger.
But again, like Maguire, near the end of the season, he came in clutch a lot.
He finished strong.
So did Casemiro as well. Shout out Casemiro.
Gonna be tough to replace, bro.
It's gonna be so tough.
He's gonna be tough,
even though we thought he was finished 2 years ago.
That's true. I mean, and like literally, there was even talk of a lot of people wanting him to get an extension, or one more season extension. Yeah, but would you have gone that route?
The money.
I understand, but I'm saying that like even with what he did this season, the money's the problem.
For that money, I still think.
So if he dropped his wages to what? How much would you think is a fair fee, wage, basically,
I think
for
we
one
pay
more
him
season?
like over 300k as is.
If you
can drop that down to fucking 150, bro.
150?
Yeah, well,
maybe add some bonuses on there, like clean sheet bonuses or something,
Yeah.
Then he can build on that. But yeah, I feel 300 odd is way too much.
It's way too much, dude.
Even if it is for one more year.
And it does make me sad because like he is a very good player.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about money like that, it's the same thing with like Lewandowski. Obviously, Lewandowski leaving Barcelona. I'd love him to go to United.
Free agent,
I'd love him to go. But the money is just too much.
It's only Saudi.
You're competing with Saudi wages at this point. So even with Casemiro, you're competing with Saudi wages because you could just go to Saudi and
That's fair. And they would want him.
They would want him.
They would want him, bro.
So it's tough, but I just can't say, I wish we could get Lewandowski too, bro. But the money's just not.
Yeah.
The wages just don't make sense.
But that being said, Casemiro 100% one of the standout players for United this season. Genuinely.
He did.
And I never saw a season like this coming, bro. Based off of what happened last season.
Remember when Jamie Carragher was saying his football
leave the football before the football leaves you.
This was literally a year ago. And look at him a year later. He's come in clutch so many times. He scored so many winning goals for us. Same thing with Maguire and Sesko, to be honest. They did come in clutch when we needed them most.
Yeah. Was this his best season in United shirt?
His first season was pretty good, I think, as far as I remember. Yeah, I think his first season was very good.
That's fair.
I think he had one season where he kind of fell off, and then he started coming back again. Yeah.
Look, last season I think was just all around bad. None of that was even on Casemiro.
Yeah, none of that. Yeah.
But no, it was a huge season from him, and he finished off strong.
It's gonna be so tough to replace him, but
looks like you're on the first step there, signing Ederson.
Is he really though?
Just first step.
Is Ederson the first? What step is Ederson even?
I think.
Do you know tell me a single thing Ederson is?
I think from the sounds. Look, I like the look of his heat map. Have you seen the heat map?
Oh, I like the look of his heat
No,
map.
I'm just saying it shows that it's something that United players that United don't have very much of right now. It's somebody that is everywhere.
Yes.
And he's successful in the challenges that he makes more often than not. And he's successful with cutting out like I think he's going to add something. I don't think he's going to be the main.
But did you think
midfielder.
Ugarte was going to add something?
Yeah, but Ederson's older than Ugarte, to be fair. Ugarte joined United with a lot less experience than Ederson.
But Ugarte, you could argue had more experience. Ugarte had been playing.
I don't think he had more experience.
Wasn't Ugarte at
PSG?
Yeah,
but he wasn't a starter
and even
there.
before that, wasn't he at Benfica?
Yes, I think Benfica.
He was good there.
Stuff. Yeah, he was there, but again, that was at like PSG signed him at like 18, 19. So I'm like, they had a kid and they played him. He got kid minutes. But Ederson is a seasoned. He just had a thorough season with that. He was part of the Atalanta team that won the Europa League.
Yes,
like
yes.
he's a good
but
player.
I just think Ugarte was playing at a higher level. So I had big expectations.
Maybe.
I had big expectations for Ugarte. I don't have much for Ederson. Not gonna lie.
I do like the idea that Ederson probably would fit into the team more easily because of the links.
But he's not the Casemiro replacement.
No, I just mean more. I said it's the first step is all because United are obviously doing a whole midfield rebuild.
Yes, we have to.
I don't think you replace Casemiro with one player this season. You're gonna need a main guy and you're gonna need someone else that can also do a job.
Well, again, logically, we also have to replace Ugarte. So fuck Casemiro. Ugarte has to go.
I think that's also why you're gonna get minimum 2. But
yeah, minimum 2,
Ederson coming in, I think he obviously has a relationship with Cunha because they're both Brazilian. What other Brazilians United have? I feel like there's more.
Luke Shaw. Who do we have?
Shoninho. I feel like there's more. But either way, like I think that this is good for United to be moving this quickly.
No, it is. I do love you. United don't usually move quickly on the transfer, so this is a very good sign.
And then look, obviously Carrick ended up getting 4 straight wins for United. Which was huge.
Carrick ball came in hot and it came in loud.
And his first loss only came in March, bro.
Yes, yeah. No, we do even up until we won our last game of the season. We did continually well under him.
Yeah,
he's very solid.
Literally.
Statistically, we don't play well under him. Statistically, we don't do well under him. I think it's like on average we're getting like 40% possession.
Yes, you counter attacking.
Yeah, no matter who
you counter attack.
No matter who we play, whether it's Burnley,
and I think that's also why more often than not the drop points come away from home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's tough. But he did get the results, and that's kind of the hardest thing to argue because you may not like the man, but golly, is he getting results?
So he ended up getting the permanent job, obviously. Yeah. I think the last month of United's season is probably the most exciting because in that 1 month, you guaranteed Champions League football. Kobe Mainoo signs a new deal. Bruno Fernandes breaks the assist record in the Premier League, which has stood for years.
Liverpool does terribly. Chelsea did terribly.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
And then Michael Carrick gets the job full time. So look, let's start with Bruno and his season.
Wait, let's start with Carrick. I didn't want him.
You didn't want him?
No.
But by the time...
Would you have wanted him?
I think he earned it. I was very vocal about the fact...
Because we qualify for Champions League? In a season where Liverpool did badly, Chelsea did badly, Villa did badly.
I do think you could have done better at one point. I think you could have done better. But the way you ended...
could have done better? We still could do better.
I don't know who else would... I don't know how many people... I don't know why he'd leave Germany before a World Cup. Or even after the World Cup.
We could have kept Carrick until the end of the season. Then the World Cup...
just keep the interim role.
Then the World Cup happens.
I feel like that would almost have been... Because someone else would have offered Carrick a job. Based on what he did at United.
Yeah, that's fine. But also when Areola and shit is on the table...
I don't think... But again, Areola, I don't know if he suits Man United's system right now.
What does that mean?
What it means is I don't know if United have the players.
He makes the system. You get the player, you makes the system.
Yeah, but you need the type of players to suit you. So I think this is why
Amorim.
This is why Amorim bombed. You know what I mean?
Yes, Amorim bombed.
Again, I don't think that Carrick is the name that many United fans wanted. But I think that on merit, he did earn it at the end of the day.
But he earned it.
And that's why how many years is it? Did they give him more than a 2-year deal? Because Iraola got a 2-year deal.
I have no clue. But
I hope it's a 2-year deal.
It's probably like 3 years, let's be honest.
I hope it's
usually around 3 years.
But I think I like seeing this type of stuff rewarded in football because it's like, he did more than a job, bro. He did really well. I know they only played 1 game a week, but I think
that's exactly like every time you say, I know this, I know.
Do you know my thing is everyone had to start somewhere is all. I'm like, Arteta's first job ever was at Arsenal. But he had a way worse start to life at Arsenal than Carrick did at United.
Was it before Amorim? But we had like Ruud van Nistelrooy in for a little bit.
Yes, and he had a decent run.
And he did decent as well.
But he didn't have a run nearly as long as Carrick's, and he didn't have to deal with as much problems, I think, because that was before Amorim made everything go south.
But I would argue Ten Hag left the team in a worse state than Amorim did.
Well, only because
Amorim left the team with Cunha and
I was going to say, Amorim had a good eye. I think the players that he bought, he had a good eye for players.
Ten Hag left the team with Xerxes and Onana.
Yeah.
So it's rude having to like juggle all of that and then still doing decently.
He did well, but and then he bombed at Leicester, I think. Did he go to Leicester? He went somewhere after that and he did not do well.
Yeah.
But again, I think that from what I've seen, I think this was a very tough season in the Premier League, contrary to popular belief. I think
Liverpool's bad, Chelsea's bad.
I think a lot of these teams were bad because the rest of the league stepped things up.
We got Bournemouth qualifying for Europa.
Shout out Iraola, but a brilliant season of football. I think we need to get back to a point where we praise football rather than criticize the big boys.
Yes.
The little guys have stepped up, bro.
Yes. But if one season after United finished 14th or wherever the fuck we finished last season,
from 15th to 3rd is insane.
No, it is. If we finish
with or without European football,
that's the thing. If we finish 3rd and all the big teams, including Arsenal and City, I'd say, kind of underperform, and we finish 3rd, that doesn't mean we that good. It just means everyone else kind of underperformed.
And I'm with you there. But I'm just
so what
saying,
happens next season when Chelsea have Xabi Alonso and Liverpool have Iraola and Arsenal have won the league and now they strengthened and City have to rebuild after Pep?
I think Alonso.
Where does United with Carrick stand?
I think Alonso has more problems to deal with than Carrick does. I think Iraola has more problems to deal with than Carrick does.
No, not Iraola.
No, and the reason I say this is because I think the pressure on Carrick is going to be so much less than the pressure on Alonso and Iraola.
You think the pressure on Iraola is going to be hard?
Yes, it's Liverpool.
No, I know it's Liverpool, but
I think Man United fans have gotten to a point now where they want to see something they can believe in. I think even if Carrick has a season where they don't, if he get qualification for Champions League again at best, no trophy, I think United fans still think this is still a step in the right direction. If you get 3rd while you're still playing in Europe and you can go further in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, I think if you have a steady build on what happened last season, I think you can get behind that, bro, because that means you can attract a better caliber of player because now players go, okay, this isn't a one-off. It's not a fluke. This guy knows what he's doing. More players start to believe in the project. I think the players themselves start to believe in Carrick more. I think he's earned the right to at least get this contract, bro.
I know what you mean, and it's fair, and I know it would be kind of mean to have this dude come in last minute. He does really well. He beats City.
It's not mean. I would have understood. It's not mean.
But that's the thing. Unfortunately, I think United. I don't think
they're bigger than Carrick.
I don't think just qualifying for Champions League should have been enough. I don't think that should have been enough
for the full-time job.
Yeah, I don't think that should have been
enough. So who would you have fully hired if you had the job? Like aside from Iraola, because
I would have taken Glasner over Carrick. I would have taken
Glasner. I think would have been a good chance.
Would have been a very good. I would have taken
a good chance. A good.
I would have taken Nagelsmann over Carrick. I would have taken. There's quite a few.
Marco Silva.
No. But there are quite a few that
there was a decent manager merry-go-round going on.
Exactly.
And
Xabi Alonso.
And if Glasner would look, Alonso's a Liverpool.
If he's willing to go to Chelsea.
But I mean, Liverpool and Chelsea's rivalry was Liverpool and United's rivalry.
I know, but I'm just saying if he's willing to go to Chelsea,
I'm more surprised that Glasner going to AC because you would kind of imagine that he would pick United over AC Milan. Especially since United have Champions League football
AC is such a big club, and also United
are the biggest.
Yeah, but we stuck with
and
Carrick.
They got Champions
we stuck
League
with Carrick though. We didn't even go for him. But look, no, Carrick is solid. I'm
excited for the Carrick.
I've just not been convinced by what I've seen football wise.
Yeah, that's fair.
We don't play particularly well. We're still very counter-attacking. Most of it, like
I said, lose a lot less. That's like one of the biggest compliments.
But again, I still think that comes down to Shane Lamens or whatever the fuck you say his name.
Yeah. He had a good season.
He had a fucking great. I saw he get like transfer of the season or some shit.
He could deserve it because coming in from Jan, basically from Jan till May, that's when United went on out. That's when you guys locked it in.
But again, like I said, during that time, it's tough to argue against results, and we were getting results, but the football was so basic, dude. So it just doesn't give me a lot of hope when I'm seeing teams like Chelsea get Xabi Alonso or Liverpool get at it. Because even Liverpool, after winning the league, and then, they didn't do too great, but even they are thinking higher than where they are. United is kind of fine to Carrick did it. Okay.
They need to steady the ship.
Carrick did okay. Let's stay there. I do want us to aim higher still because I still think Carrick's the easy way out. You keep Carrick in. He's kind of like he's a United boy. Yeah. He's kind of a
United legend.
He's kind of a yes man to the board as well. I don't see him fighting with the board the same way other managers would.
Yes, that 100%.
So even with the transfer window, I don't see him particularly getting that big of a transfer window because I don't think he's going to fight for it the same way a different coach would have.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the experience as many
exactly.
other managers.
So all of this, And again, let me do my fucking. Do you want to move on, or you want me to start giving predictions for next season?
Well, look, just before we got obviously like with the Carrick situation that way. Let us know in the comments below if you think Carrick was the right man for the job. But yeah, just before we move on, Bruno Fernandes, 21 assists.
Shout out Bruno fucking Fernandes, the GOAT.
Like
the best Premier League midfielder to ever play in the Premier League.
We had spoken before off cam, obviously, about Bruno Fernandes' impact at United since he joined and how
he's the best signing.
We have to, well, not only that, but we also have to admit that he 100%, and I have to admit this because before I found it hard to believe, but Bruno Fernandes is in the Manchester United greatest of all time 11.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Which is no question. I think what's crazy is in an era of Manchester United really, really struggling.
Yeah.
They produced a player that is an all-timer for the club.
No, he really is. I honestly, we don't deserve Bruno. We really
and he's been loyal. The man has turned down Saudi opportunities. I'm pretty sure if he wanted, he could have been at Real Madrid by now, or Barcelona, or even a Bayern.
He'd fit in so well at Barcelona.
Like, dude, he has shown so much loyalty, bro.
I know, he's shown incredible. Look, we do pay him a lot, to be fair.
But he earns it.
No, he earns it.
He's one of the few players you look at in the Premier League and you go, oh, I don't even think Bukayo Saka warrants. Okay, no, look, fuck that. Bukayo Saka earned it.
But again,
Bruno, he earns it.
No, look, and Bruno's much better than Saka, let's be honest. I know you want to talk about Arsenal players.
One of them has a Premier League throw. Look, I'm not going to get into this. But Bruno Fernandes genuinely for me, look, there was an interview recently that came out on the Diary of a CEO. Shout out Nate, you put me onto this docu. Completely changed my opinion of the guy. I'm not going to lie, I was not his biggest fan. But it puts a lot of things about his playstyle into perspective.
No, look, here's the thing. A lot of people aren't his biggest fan. I wasn't for a long time either. I was also one of those dudes. If you remember, like not too long ago, people were saying he should have gone to Saudi. I was one of them. I think he should have gone to Saudi. We could have made
United could have made a big.
Could have made 100+ mil off of me. I think he should have gone to Saudi. But
now you look at it, definitely glad he didn't go.
Yeah, I'm like the fucking Arteta outers, bro. We have to just like suck their thumb now.
There's no way you could have replaced him.
No, there's absolutely no way we could have replaced him.
I mean, even going forward.
He is the best post-Fergie signing, 100%.
And he's probably the only,
it's not even close.
The only guy you could mention with KDB right now in the Premier League since KDB.
He statistically is the only guy. And statistically, you can mention him higher than KDB. Because statistically, he's broken the record.
That's a debate. Yeah, that's true.
I know even that's up to debate because you saw like the final assist he got was technically his own goal.
I don't think so.
I don't think give it to him.
I think if goals like that given as own goals, I think are harsh on the goal scorer. Genuinely.
Yes.
If those are given as own goals, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
That's when Jorginho scored a goal against Aston Villa, it bounced off the crossbar, and as Emi Martinez dived, it bounced off the back of his head and it counted as an Emi own goal.
Yeah, I remember
but I was like, shame, man. Like,
yeah, but technically they were the last person to touch it. It does bounce. They do cause the goal. It is their fault.
I just think I'm like, like that goal scorer, man.
I know.
That could have been his goal.
That should have been your goal.
But yeah, Bruno absolutely deserves it.
He fully deserves it. He's an incredible player.
And he obviously won player of the season as well.
Also fully deserved. Was there anyone else? Or are you gonna say Declan Rice?
I would have said David Raya for me. I'm not gonna lie. I think 19 clean sheets.
Three golden gloves.
A three-peat of golden gloves. But again, I think Bruno, he deserves it. So I'm not going to argue with anybody that says Bruno Fernandes. I just think that it is a bit odd that the player of the season isn't in a Ballon d'Or running. But
who is in the Ballon d'Or running?
Declan Rice. I think he's still third.
Oh, is he actually?
I think he's still third. Obviously, right now it's up in the air. But Harry Kane's got to win it.
The thing was, Dekers was there for a while, but he also kind of fell off.
He started to dip.
Because also fucking Arteta started playing him as a right back, so he started doing less. He
started
to
dip. The Carabao Cup final happened.
Yeah, so he was. Ironically, Zubamendi was up there for a while up until he also started to dip.
Yeah, he got gassed. Did you see when we won the league? He's the first player ever. He's the first player either ever or in a very long time to win the Premier League, having featured in every single game across the season or some shit. I was like, I couldn't believe that hadn't been done. I think it was since Jens Lehmann for
Well, he is lucky that United haven't won because it would have been Bruno.
But yeah, like genuinely, like.
But yeah, there's no one else in the Premier. There is actually nobody else.
No, I think I would have said Igor Thiago maybe just because he was punching so above his weight. But look again, he punched above his weight. Yeah, but gameplay wise, he didn't do nearly as. Yeah. But yeah, look, it was a strong season for Manchester United.
That was.
And next season, naturally, we haven't done much business in the window yet. But if things go according to how you want them to go, we'll do a United rebuild episode. What are your expectations going forward? Do you think you can go back in Champions League?
Back in the league.
Back in the Carabao Cup? Maybe you get a rematch with Grimsby?
Look, we are going to do worse next season. Just based off of the fact that Liverpool will do better next season.
Yeah,
Chelsea will for sure do better next season.
And they have no Europe
Anyone's
as
better
well.
than Liam Rosenior.
Chelsea have no Europe, so they can just focus.
Chelsea will do level. I think City will be better next season. Obviously, Maresca in, they're gonna have to. That is gonna be. But even then, they're looking to sign Anderson from Nottingham Forest.
And they do have very little work to do transfer-wise because they did buy well. They got Semenyo in, they got Guehi in.
They did buy very well.
They don't have to do a full rebuild. Like United is gonna have to do a lot. They have a lot more work to do than these other clubs.
We have so much work. And then also Arsenal. Arsenal is for sure going to strengthen now that they've won the Premier League. So I think immediately those four alone all get better.
Yeah.
And then not even to mention Villa, fucking Newcastle, Bournemouth.
Because Villa will probably also, they just won the Europa League.
I know. I could argue Bournemouth will get worse. Obviously, they lost their coach.
Yeah, sure. And Senesi's already gone to Spurs.
I could argue Newcastle may get worse too without Eddie Howe. Who knows who comes in there. So yeah.
Is Eddie Howe confirmed gone?
I don't know if it's confirmed. But
yeah, there's no way
So with that being said, I assume United finish. It's worse, but it's fourth. Which actually isn't that bad.
So who do you think you finish above? Because Arsenal finish above United.
You see, the only question is which one between Chelsea or Liverpool get in the top 3 next season. I guess the safe answer is Liverpool.
Yeah, considering you have to imagine Isak doesn't have the same injury concerns.
And also they are planning on keeping Ederson. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I think a big thing is if the goalkeepers goalkeepers are a fucking big part of it. You know, like City with Donnarumma, solid keeper.
Yes. And David Raya at Arsenal.
David Raya, solid keeper. Liverpool, they can keep Ederson.
Arguably,
solid keeper.
Kelleher at Brentford.
Yeah, solid keeper. If Liverpool can keep Ederson, solid keeper. The thing is, Chelsea, you have to buy a new keeper. So
they
Chelsea
should have got Minan, bro.
They should have got
for
Minan.
10 mil.
So I don't know what happens with Chelsea next season, just because they do need a solid keeper, whereas Liverpool already have one. Yeah. So I think Liverpool is higher than them. And also, like you said, Liverpool have less to do. They've got a better coach. Areola's fucking say what you want about Arnie Slot, but you'd probably say Areola's better.
Yeah, and on top of that, like I think that someone like Kirkes, look at how he looked at Bournemouth under it. Now he's they still got Kirkes. But look, next week I'm gonna sit the spawns. We're gonna do a Liverpool focus episode, so that's gonna be good. But I feel you.
So I think I'll give United 4th.
That's fair.
Because obviously, yes, now we do have Europe.
And we say Arsenal, City, Liverpool finish above you guys. Those are the 3.
Has to, There's no, I can't.
Unless something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, unless something goes horribly wrong.
Like it did this season. My predictions for this season were off the wall. I think I predicted United to finish 8th. All my English is gone. I predicted them to finish 8th, I think.
Yeah, which, to be fair, after finishing 15th, that's not
so look, it's crazy. But going into this window, what do United have to do? You've signed Ederson.
Ederson, I'm not convinced at all. I got
no, he's 20. He's not a marquee.
I think he's like 26, 27.
Yeah. So and you got him for like a decent fee. He's not a marquee signing.
I think we got him 35.
I think he's a better Fred, if that puts things into perspective. He's a better Fred.
The bar is low.
No, but Fred had a role to play.
No, shout out Fred.
Fred had a role to play. He's a Fred with more talent.
Yeah.
Shout out Fred.
But yeah, look, I think it was like 40 mil plus add-ons.
It's not bad,
50 mil plus add-ons.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but
that's
again,
basically just under what you got. What you got for Højlund now.
Yes, but again, nobody's watched. Nobody knows Ederson. Nobody's watched an Ederson.
He's a Europa League winner. I think it counts.
Nobody has watched an. Name me one person who's watched an Ederson
He's
match.
a Europa League winner.
Name me one person.
I think it counts for something. Also, the invincible Leverkusen team that lost to that team in the Europa League final.
True.
Florian Wirtz knows Ederson.
True, Florian Wirtz. Yeah, well, who knows Florian Wirtz? But so yeah, he's okay. I mean, he plays for Brazil. He's 26 years old. He's a midfielder. We'll see what happens.
Are there links to anybody else currently?
Well, yeah, obviously we are also looking at Anderson, the Nottingham Forest, very good player.
I saw Man City apparently made their first approach.
Man City made the bid, which isn't great.
Let's see if we can get some breaking news on the show while you talk, bro.
Yeah, look at it. Isn't it also in silence?
Just in silence.
It isn't great that Man City are that committed because Man City obviously they have more money than us. Let's be honest. So if it does come down to a straight bidding war, Man City will buy him rather than us because they'll pay for it. No shame in that at all. No shame in that. And they do want they want close to 100 mil. I think that's what they're valuing him at.
Yes.
So
that's too much, bro.
It's a lot. I know.
Even West Ham valuing Matthias Fernandes.
I know. Who's also United is also interested in.
Dude. But what happened to the Belieber links? You're not a believer anymore?
He hasn't done well this season, has he?
Did you see? I saw a report that Brighton fired their sporting director for turning down the 70-odd mil when he's now valued at 40.
Yeah, I did see. But also, it's similar to what happened with that. Who was that fucking striker? Evan Ferguson. Remember they wanted 100 mil for him one season.
Arsenal
and then the next season he was playing in the championship on loan or some shit.
Yeah, he's at Roma on loan last time I checked. But Arsenal were in line for him as well.
I know, so were United. But yeah, so like Anderson is good. The issue is if City put in a bid at like 100 mil, even if they don't accept it, they now think the bar is 100 mil. So they're probably not going to take anything
Because
under.
they're using another player's sale as a benchmark. I can't remember whose sale.
Well, if they sell Anderson for an animal, they can use him as a benchmark.
Yeah, I think they're referencing the Grealish fee or something. Everyone keeps referencing all these old. Dude, I hate it.
Let's not
The
reference
transfer
Grealish.
window is gone, bro. I wonder if Grealish is gonna stay at Everton. To be fair,
I also do wonder. I wonder if he's going to...
look, no crazy updates today, so no breaking news on this episode of Foot in Mouth. But yeah, so defense wise, you bringing anybody in?
Well, I mean, do we... Like, yeah, we probably need to bring in a...
We'll do a more thorough ins and outs like rebuild episode at some point. But
Yes.
just off the top of your head, like.
I would like Anderson. If we get, I think Anderson's the Casemiro replacement.
Yeah.
He's good enough.
Yeah, 100%. He's more man for man.
Because look, on paper we should get at least 2 midfielders because Ugarte should leave. You know what I mean? Let's be honest.
That's
He
confirmed
hasn't-
also. I think I saw Fabrizio saying that Ugarte is gonna move. They're gonna move him on.
Yeah,
this season.
it's so unfair. I thought I had so
I
much.
think.
I had so much
saw a
hope in him.
report.
But yeah, he should go. We're probably not going to get a lot of money for him.
No.
So we need at least 2 midfielders, preferably 3. Because I see Tonali. I'd love Tonali.
Yeah, he's also been linked to the Arsenal, which
He's been linked to the lot, and
crazy.
also the thing with him is because he's linked to, he will come to a lot of money as well. So
Yeah.
if that also comes down
High
to a
wages
bidding
too.
war, I would rather do him. Then he will be cheaper than Anderson though.
Oh, yeah.
So I would rather do him probably.
What's nice is that he's also not going to be at the World Cup with Italy, so you can
yeah.
like negotiate and
Sure.
he can join the clubs right now.
And then obviously also Matthias Fernandes, United.
What a player, bro! For all of West Ham's flaws this season,
I know
the
for
fact
all
that
of-
he came out
But
of
I
it.
saw Arsenal also want him, so that also could count.
You see, I'm not gonna. This seems almost like the Declan Rice talks all over again. Like,
Oh yeah.
like we are there.
Yeah,
but
you-
I just don't see us
'cause
spending 100 mil on
That's
him,
the thing.
bro.
He'll be like 80 plus.
And
more.
with that
Yeah.
money, give me Morgan Rogers. I even think 80 mil for Morgan Rogers is already overpriced. But when you think about the fact that he's 23,
You think 80 mil for Morgan Rogers is too much?
yeah, I think 80 mil is overpriced for a lot of players. To be fair, I just think the market's gone completely.
I
off
think
the
it's
walls.
overpriced for Fernandes. I think for
Morgan. No, again, in this market itself, it makes sense. I'm
Is
just saying,
English-
for me personally, I think 80 mil for Morgan Rogers is overpriced.
yeah, he's.
But again, in the current market as it is, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
It-
To
it
me, that
sense.
makes more sense
That's
than
value for money.
Fernandes for 80.
Look, that's more than what we spent on Eze.
Wild.
But that's what I'm saying. The fact that Morgan Rogers is 23 also, that's a big plus,
No, I
bro.
didn't know he was that young.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah, so we should hopefully at least 3. If it is, I'll take any one of either Tonali or Anderson. I
You say
want
McTominay back.
I want Fernandes. I would take McTominay back. I want Fernandes as his own thing, and then
Yes.
obviously we've got Ederson in now already.
Yeah.
We probably defensive wise, we probably don't need a centre back. We've got a lot of centre backs. We've barely seen Martinez play this season. 'cause
Yeah,
he's
was he injured?
all the time. We've got Yoro, we've got Evan, we've got Maguire.
And they're young.
And yeah, so like I don't think we necessarily need a centre back. Give me a fullback though. We need a Luke Shaw replacement.
you do.
And it's unfortunate what happened with Malasia. Let's go back to Ten Hag signed Malasia. What the fuck happened to that dude?
But
So-
I feel you, goalkeeper wise, Lemens is young, Lemens is good.
Lamens is young, but even then,
You probably could do the better
Onana is
backup.
contacted to come back.
You could do the better backup.
So who knows? Hopefully we can sell Onana. I know
Maybe
he's
you can, even if Onana goes back to Trabzonspor for another loan, even if that's the best you can do,
We have to get rid of him.
if that's the best you
it's
can
kind
do.
of terrible.
But striker wise, also you're happy with that situation.
Yeah, striker. Look, obviously I would prefer like an older one to come in, but it's not a. That's not a.
Lewandowski, that's the dream. So
Yeah.
is Lewandowski, is he your if you could pick one person, a dream signing for United, who's the dream? Lewandowski.
Probably Lewis Hall.
He's also not at the World Cup, so you can negotiate.
But Lewis Hall, I would love Lewis Hall because he's a
that
left back.
solves left back and midfield.
That's all. And I remember a while ago when we saw him, I called out him and
did.
Palmer. I said those two are going to be
You did.
stars. And it's unfortunate that Lewis Hall decided he wants to go to Newcastle because what happened. But Lewis Hall, dude, if we can get him, I think obviously Newcastle aren't doing that well. We should be able to get him for like a decent amount of money.
Would you make a cheeky move for Cole Palmer?
It's not even worth it at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Based off the season he had, maybe now's the best chance.
It's not. Look, I wouldn't. This isn't like a.
Because he's also what 23, 24.
I know, but this isn't like a Vinny situation where like he's good enough to. It doesn't seem like he's good enough to
Yes.
make up for the.
Yes.
But yeah, I'd love Lewis Hall. Striker wise, I don't really look. Obviously, getting in an older striker would be ideal, but it's not a deal breaker.
Okay.
But again, Rashford is supposed to come back too. So,
Sancho's
supposed to come back too. So even
There's
that,
a lot of housework to do, bro.
that's the thing. Because again, Rashford probably needs to go. Let's be honest.
Yeah, for his sake.
For
and
his
the
sake,
club's
whether it's Barcelona or
Yeah.
even
He's
some
got to
other
drop
team,
his wages.
he has to drop his wages. So he probably has to go. So
Come
we
to
can,
Arsenal,
we can make some money off of him. Look, I mean, he's not a bad player. Maybe
think
there is a world where he can integrate with
You'll
Carrick.
find, yeah. I would like to see that.
I'm sure Carrick and him are like somewhat friendly
I
with
would
each
like
other.
to see that.
But he probably needs to go. Xerxes probably also needs to go. As much as it's unfortunate for Xerxes. Ugarte needs to go. So, like, we should make some money.
And there should be clubs that'll take these players on.
And I'm assuming the budget is around about 253 animal. I'm assuming it's around about there somewhere.
Yeah, before sales.
And we've spent like 40 mil on Ederson. So there's still a lot of money
you
there.
made like 50, 60 on Oiland.
And again, like, we're in Champions League now. We're in all these competitions. We need depth. So we should be making a lot of fucking signings.
Yeah, because you don't want to drop out the top 6, top 7 places again.
Exactly, because then we cooked for another 10 years.
No, I feel you. And then look, just last but not least, let's sign things off, bro. What was your highlight of the season? Your favorite moment of the season as a United fan?
Amorim's firing.
Damn!
No, I guess it would have to be maybe beating City. Either beating City or beating Arsenal.
You sure not the Bruno setting the new record?
No, look, that is nice, but that's more of a Bruno moment than a club moment. I guess you could say qualifying for Champions League is huge.
I guess.
Qualifying
but
for
it's a bit
Champions League
underwhelming.
is fucking, it's massive.
Those wins you spoke about, those were big wins.
But yeah, that moment of Carrick coming in, winning the big games, almost like when Ronaldo came back, scoring,
and it was so unexpected.
Spurs.
Both were unexpected.
Because again, people had as United fans, we had no faith in Man United. But I've seen a lot of fucking like Prime Sports or something did a poll and like the who you think's gonna beat Arsenal, and a lot of people, United was voted first. A lot of people seem to think United is going to do very well next season.
A lot of people are predicting them to genuinely have a title push.
Why?
I don't know, bro. But it's the beauty of football.
It is the beauty.
Let's be delusional.
But we can't have one decent season and then all of a sudden we're winning the league. It's like, we had no European football. We qualified third only because every other team was shit.
I feel you.
So look, I'm not gonna look. It's nice. Champions League is nice, but I don't think this is gonna last at all, bro. But like I said, 4th place next season.
Yeah, and that was a good moment.
Yeah, that's a great moment.
Goal of the season. You got a goal of the season?
I don't think I have a goal of the season, to be honest.
No. I know, like, there were obviously some important goals.
Yeah, there were some big goals.
You look at Dorgu and Cunha's goals alone in the Arsenal.
There were some big goals, But I don't think they would, we didn't have, like, a Garnacho bicycle this season, you know what I mean?
That's true, no Puskas contender.
There was no Puskas, exactly.
That's fair. Okay, cool. Unsung hero. You got someone that may be underrated from the team this season?
I mean, look, this is just out of loyalty, but I guess it has to be Casemiro, innit?
Fair enough.
You know
I don't even
mean?
think he counts as unsung because he was at the forefront this season for a lot of players.
But then remember how terribly he started. He was fucking.
That's fair.
Fat.
Yeah, the memes of him as a Bobby.
So I think that it's almost like the Maguire turnaround of last season, where we go from people making fun of you.
The football left him.
To now he's like, people are like, oh, please sign for another year, please. So like,
I think that counts.
That counts. Yeah,
that's an unsung hero. And then signing of the season. This is a tough one.
Saint Lamens.
Okay.
I mean, it has to be. Is it
I
not?
just think with how exciting Mbuma and Cunha and Chesko
But again, they all kind of, maybe not Chesko, but they all kind of fell off a little bit after Carrick came in.
Lamens from game 1.
Lamens, take it easy, bro.
Sorry.
Lamens literally from game 1 has made a difference. And he continued to make a difference to the last game. So I think Lamens by default.
That's fair.
If only I could learn how to say his name.
Last but not least, bro, player of the season.
I mean, dude, Luke Shaw, do I even know? I mean, shout out Luke Shaw. He did stay fit all season, which is incredible.
And not for England.
Well, I think it was for England, but he didn't end up getting picked. But I think it was because somehow every time there's a World Cup or a Euro, he's fit all season.
But now Bruno,
he's player of the season. Of course, he's United.
Legend of the league, legend of the club. And legend of the game, bro. I think that about brings it to a close for now.
Yeah.
Next time we sit down will be for a rebuild or probably a World Cup thing. We're gonna do something around the World Cup. But United fans, hope you enjoyed this one. Ethan, thank you for breaking it down with me.
Yeah.
Sound like we danced, but we just spoke football.
Yeah, we just spoke football.
Thank you for watching the video. Give it a like if you did enjoy it. As I said, we will be back with more content coming soon. So subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you in the next one.